San Francisco, let's go out there for a second because they feel like their best chance to win the division is sticking with their guy. And they give Brock Purdy this monster contract, a 5-year, $265 million deal. So it's $53 million annually. If you're John Lynch, Rodney, if you're Coach Shanahan, is this the move you're making, or what did you make of this decision to finally marry Brock Purdy?
Well, I think once he signed his contract, I think I was with you in Cincinnati playing golf. And the first thing you said is, I cannot believe that they gave this guy all this money. And I said, I love it. I love the fact that they paid this guy. This is what you want. This is the right person in the locker room to lead your team. He's a really good quarterback. He's young. He's in his 20s. And to me, if you're paying Trent Williams $27 million a year at 36 years old, who only played 10 games last year, you got to be able to pay Brock Purdy. I think he's one of the top 12 to 14 quarterbacks in this league, and he deserves his money. He's played on 800,000, 700,000, 300,000 too long. The guy deserves his money. He's a perfect fit. And like I said before, it's not his fault. Brandon Ayuk got injured. Christian McCaffrey wasn't there. They had some injuries at the wide receiver position. The offensive line was up and down. Brock Purdy has been steady, coach. I believe he deserves this deal. And I think this is a good sign to the locker room by John Lynch paying this guy.
I absolutely agree with you, Rodney. I think there's a couple of reasons behind it. Number one, as you said, he played for the minimum for these first 3 years. And rewarding your players that do well, that sends a message to the locker room. And then number two, we saw in that graphic, they put him in the middle of the pack of the franchise quarterbacks. But 5 years from now, this deal is going to be small. So, rather than wait and say, okay, now like the Cowboys had to do with Dak Prescott, they waited and they had to bump him up to the top of the ladder. I think they're going to feel good about this down the road. And everybody in that locker room loves Brock Purdy. He's their guy. They're happy about this. And I think it was a good move by the 49ers.
And Jack, it was his time, Jack. Brandon Ayuk got paid, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, all these guys. And I thought John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they've done a great job of paying all those guys, rewarding all those guys. They didn't win a Super Bowl, but you got to take care of Brock, man. He's the right person. He knows the offense inside and out, and he's a tremendous leader. And, he doesn't have the big name or anything like that, but the guy deserved it, man. I was thrilled for Brock Purdy getting his new contract.
I agree with all the above. I do worry, though. So you're now, for the next 5 years, there's going to be urgency to win this year for Shanahan, for Lynch. When you sometimes find yourself with one of those middle-of-the-pack quarterbacks and the team around him all of a sudden is not the all-star team it once was, when he was a young player making no money and they're paying other guys, can he now be the reason why San Francisco returns to being one of the top 1 or 2 teams in the NFL? Can he be the star? Can he be the reason? It's not going to be as good of a team around him. That just is what happens sometimes when you start paying the quarterback this kind of money. Can he be the reason? And that is going to be the question Brock Purdy is going to have to answer. And if he can't, this is not going to be viewed as a good deal in a handful of years. And they're going to be trying to still figure out who this quarterback is. And they've thrown a lot at the wall in San Francisco to get it right. And so can he go be better than a middle-of-the-pack quarterback? I think he still has to answer that question.
Well, I agree with you on that, Jack, but that's the case with every team. You get the young quarterback, he's not making much money, you've got a nice team around him, and you win. Well, now when you start paying him, and you have to pay him, you're going to lose other people. And his role is going to get bigger and bigger, and that's what's happened with every quarterback. That's what happened with Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott and Russell Wilson in Seattle. Your time to strike it is when the iron is hot and when that quarterback is not getting paid a lot. But that's just the way the NFL is right now.
Kyle Shanahan gets an opportunity to spend every day with this guy, basically watch him work, watch his leadership, watch his improvement. And this is not where he's going to stay. He's going to continue to ascend and get better. I mean, he's a young quarterback in his 20s. And Brock Purdy, I truly believe it's not going to change who he is. The money's not going to change. He's going to be the same guy, whether he's making $900,000 or whether he's making $50 million. It's not going to change. That's why I'm so excited for Brock Purdy. And you talk about other guys getting paid. Well, he has to get paid. He's going to continue to get better. And it's John Lynch, his job and his responsibility to provide talent around Brock Purdy. I don't think Brock Purdy is going to be like Patrick Mahomes and put a team on his back. He doesn't need to do that. He just needs to not turn the ball over and do what he's asked to do. If he does that with the coaching and the players and the talent that they have, San Francisco will be right there in the mix, Coach.
Yeah, and I promise you, they looked at this as a business decision. They didn't just give him this money because he's a nice guy.
That's all I'm saying.
Sorted it out, and they said, "This is our guy. We're banking on him, and our reputation's on the line." But they believe in him, and they're showing it.
And it was a decision. I mean, they were weighing it back and forth, I'm sure, probably throughout the course of this year, going, is this worth it? Is this not? You know, I would have been curious, had San Francisco not gone with Brock Purdy. I mean, do you think there would have been a larger market for Purdy out there on an open market? Do you think Purdy's about this range, or do you think he would have gone higher? How would you view Purdy, Coach, had it not been?
I think there's a lot of people that like Brock Purdy, and I think San Francisco had to look at what's our alternative. Okay, if we don't pay him, who do we get? What is that going to cost us? And we might get somebody who's not as good. We drafted a guy with the third pick in the draft that we thought was better, and he wasn't. So,
Hey, good point. Good point. They tried to bring in Garoppolo, pay him. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
So it's not their first time trying to get this quarterback spot right. Go ahead, Ron.
Jack, what for you, in your opinion, what constitute a quarterback deserving of getting paid? Like, what does Brock Purdy have to do to make you feel comfortable paying him this type of money?
I would worry about physical limitations that would stop him from becoming an elite quarterback in the NFL. Just his size, his speed, his ability to run and break tackles, and just all the things that we're seeing from this star level of quarterback in the NFL. I think he's more like a Dak Prescott or below him on that chart. I mean, we got time to see. We're going to figure out over these next 5 years. I think he's right in that probably 15, 17, right in that range of best quarterbacks in the league. And as that roster gets older, deteriorates, and they got to go young to replenish, his job is going to get a hell of a lot harder. And can he become the reason why they go win Super Bowls despite the roster getting worse? I doubt it.
I think it's crazy to even consider not signing this guy. You work so hard, like Coach talked about. You draft a quarterback, what was it, 3 overall or whatever it was, and now you have a guy that you know can play football. And to say, oh well, we're gonna go cheaper, I think it's a slap in the face. I think it would have had a dramatic impact in the locker room. Guys come to work every single day and they know Brock Purdy's journey. They see his work ethic, they see every day he's grinding. So if he doesn't get paid, they're looking like, hey man, this is a bad organization. I'm not gonna get paid if Brock Purdy's not gonna get paid. So it has a trickle-down effect. But I think this is a fantastic deal. He's shown that he's athletic, he can be accurate, and he's a good leader. He's a good, solid football player, and this is what you get paid if you're a starting quarterback in the National Football League.
and it is. It's kind of shocking to us as we see the numbers, but this is the going rate for quarterbacks.
It is.
You know, Jack, you mentioned Dak Prescott. I don't know if Purdy's in that range. Is he better? Dak Prescott's making more than Purdy right now. So
For sure.
That's the going rate.
He is. And both those guys still kind of are in the position of proving that they're worth that kind of money. We'll see if they do as it goes along.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.